Good day, YouTube. 14th of March, 2021. This is my 1993 Geo Tracker. We just finished uploading a video where we repainted the hood using a truck bed liner. You can check that video out. It's all uploaded there on my channel. Next thing we're going to do is take the rack off. I'd almost like to take credit for building this, but I didn't. I didn't have anything to do with it. I bought it with it on. But the mesh in the bottom of it's getting very rusty, and it's actually starting to stain the aftermarket hardtop on my vehicle. So I have taken the inner panels off so I could get these bolts out. You can see over there and over here. There we go. So see the bolt holes there. So I'm leaving one bolt in. To pull the taillights out, I can get to these bolts and nuts. And anyway, the idea is to pull this off there and give this a refinish. Yep, I'm going to refinish it. And we might weld some tabs on it for maybe some lights or something. You know, kind of think about this just a little bit, everything I want to do with it. And I kind of go from there. So the plan right now is just to get this thing off, hopefully without doing any damage. My lift arms will not go high enough to grab a hold of this and take it up and off. So it's probably not real heavy, but again, these sharp corners would certainly scuff things up pretty bad if I not careful. And I don't have any help, so nor do I ever. So we might have to rig something off the ceiling or something. We'll figure that out as we go. But for right now, let me get this thing all unbolted and let's get it off the vehicle, and then we'll kind of assess what we have and how to go forward, getting it cleaned up, do any additions to it that we're going to do, and get her all sprayed out and go from there. Like my new stickers? Alright, I'll check back with you. Well, we were successful to get this rack off. What do you think? She's a little rusty on the old expanded metal there, so gonna get the wire brush out, start working on this thing a little bit. Probably get some Rustolium primer on it maybe today. I don't know if we'll get paint on it. Probably going to use more truck bed liner actually for a long-lasting, durable finish, I think. I did clean the top up a little bit. I tried this Mother's Back to Black. Didn't work very good. Didn't work very good. It's probably better than what was up there. It was all rust stain and stuff, so I got all that cleaned off, but I just have never found anything that, whatever the coating is on this, on these fiberglass roof panels, just can't make them look that good. Anyway, it's better than rust. Looks a little different without it on there. They didn't really put anything under those bolt-on pads, so I'm probably going to sand this down and prime it, and then tape out a square and put some bed liner spray under that here and here to protect it. On the other side, there's actually a rust hole or something. I don't know if it's a rust hole or if somebody drilled a hole in wrong spot and covered it, or just what, but sorry, it's a little dark over here, but that's actually a hole right there. So anyway, we'll endeavor to keep that from rusting further. Sure happy with the results on the hood. The video is posted on the channel if you want to. Just did this morning, so it's good. So I'm just going to do some boring wire brushing with an angle grinder and to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. and we'll take it from there. I went online and looked at LED light bars and this kind of stuff. I was thought about putting one on there, but I'm starting to second guess doing that. I don't know. This thing actually whistles quite a bit going through the air, especially when you have the front hardtop off. So I don't know if I want to put anything more up there or not. I'll kick it around a little bit. But in the meantime, let's get this thing cleaned up. I'll bring you back when I got something to show you. Well, I have been brushing on this thing for hours. Now I am done. Done. We got the rust I could get off. We're going to paint this with Rustolium anyway. Yeah, we're just going to go straight to black Rustolium. Make it happen. Right now, of course, it's upside down. So we're going to paint as much as we can get upside down and let it dry tonight. And hit her again tomorrow. Might give it a second coat on the underside and flip it over. I don't know. We'll just see how it works. Get as much painted that we could reach while it's upside down, and maybe a second coat and flip it over tomorrow, and get as much painted tomorrow as we can. Let her cure for another day and put it back on. What do you think? All right, let me get some paint pouring. All right, that's the paint. It's gloss black, it's Rustolium, and we're going to put it on with a roller. This is just a regular roller that I just cut into pieces because it's cheaper that way, and I'm really, really cheap. And with a paint pan and a liner. Let's put some paint in it and get to painting. All right, let's get this paint party started. Kind of curious how well this will paint the expanded metal. Oh yeah, it gets down in there. It's good. Yeah, it's going to work fine. You notice I was wire brushing this expanded metal. It was just rust. There wasn't like any paint on it to speak of. If there was, it was super thin. It was just rust coming off. But I bought this rig in from Central Oregon, and it was in Bend, Oregon, and a very dry desert, high desert. So maybe they didn't put any paint on it. I don't know. It looked like raw steel is what it really looked like. So it may never have had any protection at all. So this is going to be great. It'll look much better. It's kind of a pain to do this, but I got to take advantage of my time and get it done. So. You could spray this, but so much of what you'd spray would just go in the air, just be wasted. So a roller's going to be just fine. It'll leave a nice finish. It'll put a lot of paint on it. It doesn't take very long. All right, I'm going to continue and I'll show you what I get done before I leave today. All right, didn't take too long. Got it all rolled on there, everything we can get at anyway. I wrapped up my pan and roller so I could use it again in the morning to do the other side. So it's covered well. It's going to look good. Get it all black. Get her back on the rig here in a day or two. All right. I will catch you guys tomorrow, and we'll button this thing up. All right, it is the next day. I wrapped up my roller and my pan in a plastic bag so I didn't have to clean it or throw it out or whatever and start over. It should be very usable today. I got this thing flipped over this morning, ready to do the top side. Good to go. I grabbed just a little flux brush this morning to get into these little areas I'm not going to be able to fit the roller to. I guess I didn't want to waste a whole paintbrush on it. But this will work. Actually works pretty good. Got all these little welded on hooks somebody put on here. It's actually, they work out super good. Not a bad design for a rack for these things. My guess is that, you know, a local welding shop put it together or something. That's my guess, unless somebody knows something different. Might as well do these here. Get around the welds. It's leaking water out of somewhere on the floor. All right. Gonna get this done today. It's been really bugging me. It's been not looking very nice. And it's the rust coming off of it's been staining the top of my tracker, so very unsightly. If you really cherish your garage floor, you might put a tarp or plastic or something down. I'm not so concerned. Every once in a while I take a sharp scraper and scrape the floor. But this barn was built in 1947. There's a lot of things on this floor that tell a little bit of history. And I've done a lot of additions to the history on my floor. And it's fine with me. Get this grate painted first before I do these rails, and I don't get any on my sleeve when I have to reach over. Looking good. Definitely have to go around the edges with the brush. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to finish painting and I'll bring you back and then give you a little close-up. Well, there we have it. It's all done. It's going to look really nice back on the rig. So, I'll bring you back when it's all back installed. Looking good. Rustolium with a roller. Got her done. Alright, it's the next morning. I got the rack put back on the tracker. And it looks good. I did a separate video where I replaced the nuts and bolts with nut certs, so that I can now take this on and off without taking door panels off and taillights out and all that stuff. Just taking 4 bolts out, the nuts stay in the metal. Yeah, looks really, really good. I wish I could come up with a product that would make the finish that's on these fiberglass hardtops stay black. And I've used Armor All, Back to Black, all those types of products, kinds of sprays and stuff, and at best it comes up blotchy. Anyway, I'll probably just let them go again. At least I got the rust stains off the back one from the rust in that expanded metal. But yeah, it's nice to get that done and all back on. I'm gonna clean up my rig there a little bit today and wax it up, and it's gonna be nice. Maybe touch some paint up. If it gets interesting, maybe we'll do a video on touch-up paint. But anyway, doesn't that look good? Yeah, it really does. This thing's come a long ways this week, getting the hood redone and everything. So cool. So appreciate you watching. Appreciate the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. Give me a thumbs up on the way out. That'd be awesome. And we're going to catch you guys on the next video, okay?